Welcome back. So today's project is a simple gardening bench. I guess I'd say a potting bench. Those of you that have watched me recently know I have an ambitious plan for this year's garden, not only in terms of number of plants, but also in terms of starting everything from seed. And the last couple of weeks I realized that I am on my knees on the ground in the basement planting most of the things that I'm doing. And I'd rather not be. So, plan today is to take, I think I have about a 10-foot 2x6, and 2 or 3 2x4s, stuff in the basement that I just can't use for other projects. Cut them up real quick, took me about 15 minutes, and the goal now is to assemble it in less than 10. So less than 30 minutes, I have a place to do my potting, put some storage stuff underneath if I need to, and get off of the ground and get stuff done. So here we go. Legs have 2 stretchers apiece, as you'll see in a minute, one on each end. The tabletop itself is 4 2x6s. They are about 30 inches, I believe I did, and 4 together obviously is about 22. So I went ahead and just took a couple of scraps to use to hold them. I'm not going to pre-drill anything. I don't think I need to. If that changes, I will. Should be all set. Using 2-inch screws for the attaching the top. I don't know that this is going to be an outside item yet. If it is, I don't anticipate it sitting out there a whole lot. So I think for now it's going to be one of those basement storage catch-all items. Use it as a bench when I need it. So I'm not doing anything fancy in terms of finish or anything like that. I did want this to be something that I could switch out and modify if needed. So I am building the top, as you see here, as a single piece, and then I'm attaching the leg units to that. So the legs will be something like this with spacers. One of the spacers is going to sit right on this piece here. Looks a little funny because it's different sizes of boards, but you're never going to see it. So that will mean that if I ever wanted to, I could take the leg assembly off, repurpose that, and I would still have the space for everything else. I'm not gluing anything, so it's going to be a very versatile. If I decide I need to take it apart at some point, I can do that, and there's no issue. Nothing as of right now has been planed, jointed, anything like that. It's just however it came from the box store. I haven't touched it, I haven't fixed it. Trying to do it without any sort of clamps, anything else, just to make this a super simple, anybody can spend a half an hour or an hour doing it. Kind of cool piece. I am going to use bigger screws for the sides. I've got some 2.5-inch deck select, whatever these big guys are. So I think those would be a little beefier for the side. View maybe. Not as an angle. There we go. Again, not doing anything fancy with this. Goal is short, sweet, to the point, and hopefully something that I can be using immediately. My bottom shelf, I'm going to set off the ground a little bit. Mainly so I have room for a shelf. So I'm going to leave this, I think we'll go 6 inches off the ground. Again, not going to be terribly precise. One of those projects where it doesn't need to be pretty, it just needs to serve the purpose that I've got. One of the beauties of a project like this, I think anyway, is just the ease with which you can make it. It's not anything fancy. Doesn't take a whole lot of time. It's pretty sturdy. A nice Sunday afternoon project. So there's the first half of the leg assembly. Go ahead and do the second half and we'll be set. I find the more I do complicated projects, the more I enjoy little things like this sometimes. They're not complex, there isn't a whole lot of planning involved, but they serve a purpose and they're quick. So one leg assembly done, one to go. Point out that the only thing I'm measuring is this angle here. I want to make sure that I have that right at my 6-inch mark, and I do. But everything else is cut based on the other pieces. Forget the term for that. Approximate dimensioning. Relative dimensioning, that's it. there we have it. We're going to attach this to the top. As I said earlier, my goal was to be able to take this apart if I ever wanted to, repurpose it, change it, something like that. But not to have to worry about it. So it's going to be our plan. I think this would benefit from some support across this. Makes me a little nervous to have these out like this with the amount of weight up here. However, I think with a shelf on the bottom or a couple of slats for a shelf, that wouldn't be an issue at all. So I'm just going to put 2 screws on each side. I think that's sufficient for what I'm doing now. And I don't want to impede if I decide later to put a shelf or something. I don't want a bunch of screws that I have to watch out for. I did set this in about 1 inch from each side just so you don't hit it with your feet as you go up to it. That's actually pretty solid.